What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host, Josh, and we have breaking news, which is why we are coming at you live right now. And you guys see the article on the screen, and we need to talk about it because Marco Rose has basically told Borussia Mönchengladbach that he's going to take over Borussia Dortmund this summer. It's been an ongoing rumor for honestly as long as I possibly can remember. And I'm stoked about it. This is the absolute right call for our club. I'm hoping that it's honestly the right move for him. But it was kind of awkward to see what's going to happen because he has a job at Borussia Mönchengladbach. There's still a good chunk of the season. They're direct rivals to us, competing for your Champions League, competing for the cup. Like it was going to be a touchy situation. But even good news for Gladbach is they know that Rose is leaving. There's no more this and that and whatnot. This at least gives Borussia Mönchengladbach the opportunity to go out and look for a manager. Jesse Marsch, for example, is being linked. Erik ten Hag's being linked. But we got the guy who I think is at the top of our list, and realistically the guy who's going to be able to turn this team around. So today, I feel like it was just the right idea to go live with you guys. Let's talk about it, see what you guys' opinions are. Because for me, looking at the most realistic transfers and which manager was going to take over this club, he was the guy. He was literally the only guy who, in my opinion, could do it. The only other person who, someone asked me not even that long ago, who's another realistic manager besides Rose, and honestly, I said there's not really one. Like, in my opinion, Rose is going to be 100% the man to take over next season. The only other name I could have saw Dortmund potentially look at would have been Jesse Marsch. I don't think that would have been the right decision. I think Marsch probably should take a step to Gladbach, for example, or a club like that before going right at Borussia Dortmund. But I think Marco Rose is ready for this. I think that he even shows he's a little distracted this season with himself because he knows he's going to leave. And I'm excited that our future is basically in the hands of Marco Rose, and I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. So the article is there on the... It literally just broke, not even that long ago. Literally, this article went up 6 minutes ago from when I went live. But I'll just skim it over for you guys. If you guys want to read it, you can while it's on. But basically, it says that Marco Rose has decided that his future will be the permanent new manager of Borussia Dortmund in the summer. Gladbach have confirmed this. He's told his players this. And the Black and Yellows will activate the release clause, which we did know that there was a €5 million release clause on Rose's signature, which for a manager that is of Marco Rose's quality, $5 million is nothing, and it'll be a young manager. I'm excited that he's young. The number one thing that for me is that he's 44. It's such a prime age to find a young, talented manager, and I'm really excited for that, given the fact that Fabra was a little bit older, a little bit more old school the way he played, but he was a very good tactician nonetheless. So Rose has been heavily linked to Borussia Dortmund in recent months and thought that the club's preferred target from Lucien Fabra would have been indeed Rose, who was sacked in December, and Edin Terzic was appointed as the interim manager at the end of the season. Rose joined Borussia Mönchengladbach in 2019 and has led them to a top 4 finish, and he's also helped them qualify for the round of 16 in the Champions League. The BBB bosses are said to have been impressed by the 44-year-old's ability to play attacking football and get the best out of his players. Such good news to wake up to, you guys. It's such good news. I'll leave the article right here for you guys to read. But let's discuss it. Let's see what you guys are thinking about it, because this is exactly the manager I wanted to see come to the club. So we got Hudson Odoi here who says Holland. I'm relieved, bro. I'm relieved as well. Get in. It would like if you have to think of another manager, like by all means toss me ideas. But given our actual targets, given who would potentially want to take over this club, who would be young, attack-minded, fit the philosophy of Dortmund, and of course the biggest thing in the entire world, speaks German. That is of course Marco Rose. So I'm buzzing for it. It at least settles us for now. We don't have to speculate and do all these different videos and linking here, who, and everywhere to the club. This is the right call for, I think, Rose. It's the right call for Dortmund, and I'm genuinely excited. So now we have a task. Now we have a task to get Champions League football so we can give Marco Rose all the tools he needs to move forward. Fully Welsh is pumped. Another one pumped. I am happy. A lot of people are very excited. That is very, very good to see. I'm excited too. Hopefully he will bring over Neuhaus. There's a connection. If we get Champions League football, that's a possibility. If we don't get Champions League football, I don't think we can afford Neuhaus, but he would be huge. Imagine if Fabra goes to Gladbach. Nerd overload coming in with it. If I'm being completely honest, as and we do have a couple Gladbach viewers that like chiming in, so I'm curious if he will join today. But if I'm a Gladbach supporter, I'm rooting for Jesse Marsch, or I'm rooting for Erik ten Hag, preferably Erik ten Hag to come over, because another quality manager. I don't think Favre would want to go back, but I mean, you never know. Sancho to Chelsea. Oh, Hudson-Odoi. Looking for some competition. Neuhaus will be expensive, bro. Yes, he will. The only way, like I said, we're going to afford Neuhaus is going to be because we get Champions League football. Bruh, Dortmund is in their worst form, but still in front of Gladbach. Yeah, oh, man. Now we're going to take him. Shake my head. Yeah, Gladbach hasn't been in excellent form as well, but I seriously think that Rose is a little bit... his head was turned at Dortmund, knowing that he's been basically linked to this club for... He'd been linked to this club even before Favre left. He was linked for this club probably after this season when Favre was going to leave regardless. Favre got sacked mid-season. The rumors started heating up, and I don't know. I feel like Rose has been a little bit distracted, which has led to some pretty underwhelming performances from Gladbach this season. BVB 3.0 next season is going to be fire. Let's go. It's good, but man, we definitely need a Champions League football. If I remember correctly, Marco Rose was a candidate 3 years ago and decided on Favre then. I think you're right. Marco Rose has had some rumors. I mean, Favre was linked to the club for a while as well. He was linked to Dortmund a couple years before he actually came. Rose was in the conversation, but it's the best choice for us. It absolutely is. Erik ten Hag would be interested, and he realistically could go to Gladbach. Best choice. I agree. Out of everyone who's available, given our philosophy, and if you break it down like that, there's a few things that Dortmund would have looked at. They would have looked at their philosophy. Attack-minded, fun-flowing football. Rose checks the box. They would have then looked at a young manager to invest time in. He's 44, perfect age. He could be here for a decade, for example. Checks the box. Needs to speak German. Of course, we know that's the biggest thing. Guess what? Checks the box. And I know Marco Rose isn't having the best season right now at Gladbach, but I honestly think that with this complete rebuild, this is the perfect way to get it going. This is such a huge announcement. I know people will say, well, they did it mid-season, and it's like, yes, but to be fair, if you're a Gladbach supporter, and I hope he joins today, I hope he does, but if you're a Gladbach supporter and you know that there's a possibility of Rose leaving, but no decision is made until the end of the season, that cuts on your time to approach other candidates. Now that you know he's leaving for sure, I know Rose, he's a professional, he'll give the best he can with Gladbach, try to get them to the best position they can, but then Gladbach behind the scenes can start approaching Jesse Marsch, Erik ten Hag, whoever it may be. So I think it's a win-win for everyone. Gladbach is behind us in 7th. Yes, they are. I know, but we get Champions League football and sell Sancho, we could get him. That is true. No, that is absolutely true. I think Neuhaus does have a realistic chance of coming to Dortmund if we make Champions League. Because I think the Sancho money will still be able to go towards balancing the books and maybe 1 or 2 mandatory signings. In my house, Neuhaus isn't a mandatory signing. A keeper and a center back are mandatory signings. Is this 100%? Is it 100% fixed? I believe, from what I'm reading, the rumors are legit that Marco Rose today told the Gladbach managers or the Gladbach personnel and everyone that he is leaving. Matar's here. Yep. As far as I know, guys, this is breaking news. I woke up this morning. That is what I'm reading, and it's starting to pop out over social media. So as far as I know, it looks pretty legit. There's been a couple articles already out that he's basically. I think the board from Gladbach wanted an answer. And Marco Rose said, listen, I want to leave. And then Dortmund's like, well, I'll take it. $5 million? Absolutely. So, as far as I know, this is 100% legit, and Rose is going to be our manager next season. I would like to see Marcus Thuram as a Sancho replacement. I wouldn't be against that. I think he'd be a little pricey, and I'd be a little skeptical of taking even more people from Gladbach, considering we're already... if we're going to take one from Gladbach, I feel like it's going to be Neuhaus. Let's go. Steve's pumped. I hope so as well, but I think most of Sancho money will probably be used to cover our losses. That is true. If Sancho's money is definitely going to go towards balancing our books, and potentially 1, if not 2 signings, the money could go towards a keeper, which won't be overly expensive, and then potentially a center back. Yes, he's going to bring best players for us. I hope he is. What's his tactical philosophy? He's a very attack-minded football. He plays in a couple different formations. He plays in a 4-2-3-1, which personally I think he's going to do at Borussia Dortmund, just because it kind of fits our personnel a little bit more. He's also known to play in a 4-1-2-1-2. He's got versatile personnel as well. Hoffman often plays as a center attacking mid with Playa and Thuram up front as strikers. But he's definitely going to be attack-minded. It's going to be fun-flowing football. He's got a high press. He's going to bring a lot of fun to this Borussia Dortmund team, I think. And I think he's going to have fun. And a little benefit for him is that a lot of players are going out. So he's going to take a look at this squad and being like, no. And then I want him. And I've told you guys many a times throughout the transfer window why it was such a boring window. Dortmund did not want to invest in any single player unless they knew that was going to be Marco Rose's guy. Plus, the money. But the main reason, in my opinion, that no money was shed whatsoever is because they knew Terzic wasn't the long-term idea. Now Rose comes in. If we do squeak into the top 4, we set him up perfectly. We're going to have wholesale changes going out of this club, and we're going to be bringing in a lot of bodies chosen by our new manager, Marco Rose. So I think that should be pretty exciting. Hi, mate. How you doing, my friend? Rose is a perfect gift on a Valentine's Day. He is. Honestly, I put a tweet out and said Klopp, but, I will take Rose any day. He's going to bring his best players for us. I hope he brings Neuhaus. That'd be pretty cool. Rose is a world-class manager. He's a young manager, man. There's huge opportunities that he could take over this club and take Dortmund to another level. Steve's pretty excited today. Unreal manager, not going to lie. I agree. I wanted him at Chelsea, not going to lie. No, you got Tuchel, got one of the other former Dortmund managers. I wanted Rose for the Germany job. I think that's going to be Flick, my friend. I think it's going to be Flick. I hope Jesse Marsch replaces Rose. It would be great to see. In my opinion, if I'm taking a bet between Rose and Erik ten Hag to come over, I'm going to say Rose. Marsch. I think Marsch is looking to make that jump to the Bundesliga. Natural for Americans, players, coaches to make that jump. So I bet you, if I'm putting money on it, that Marsch will be Gladbach's next manager. Dortmund equals UEFA Conference League transfer confirmed. Oh no. We may have gotten the new manager, but we need to get back on track, and let's see how the summer goes, and we'll be safe to see that we can compete for the title again. That's well said, guys. There's still I'm buzzing right now because I wanted just all these little rumors to go away. I wanted to know if we were getting Rose. I was honestly 95% sure we would. Didn't know when it was going to be announced, but now we can start already planning around him. It's gonna pee off a lot of the Gladbach fans because now Rose's head is definitely turned even more. But to say the least, we still need Champions League football. We still have a huge task to do this season because we're going to need to put Marco Rose in a good position for next season. And if we aren't able to do that with Champions League football, his team's going to look probably a little different than he would prefer. Nonetheless, I still think he's going to have fun taking over this team. Gladbach fans hate us now. It's not new, man. We've taken so many players and managers from Gladbach. I don't think we're their biggest fans anyways. We had success under German coaches like Klopp and Tuchel. Best option. I absolutely agree. Will E.T. be motivated for the rest of the season? I think so. Terzic has got a lot of love for Dortmund. And what better way to go out than scrape this team into a Champions League position, man? There's no better way to do it. I think he's still going to be motivated, and he'll get a huge thank you if he's able to rally this team and get them into Champions League football and gain this club 75 million euros. Hey, Dortmund guys, is this confirmed? As far as I know, it's confirmed. From what I've read, it seems like Marco Rose told the board, told his players that he will be joining Borussia Dortmund in the summertime, which is why I needed to go live and celebrate because this is perfect news. Hopefully it even gives the team a reaction. It hopefully gives them some type of oh man, this is gonna be fun to work under this guy. We need to get Champions League football. I don't know. I'm a hopeful. It's been some pretty dark days, but we'll have to see. Well, it's obvious. The bees love Rose. Bees love roses. Matar, you're clever. You might win the Bundesliga. Well, again, a lot of that's going to depend on if we get Champions League football. Because if we don't, we put ourselves already in a big hole for next year. But it's just exciting. It's exciting nonetheless to have a young manager coming in and just, I don't know. It'll be cool. I hate when we keep taking managers and talents to Dortmund. Who do you think will be the stadium sponsor next season? I have no idea. I haven't given a lot of thought to that. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that, because I honestly haven't even given it a slight thought, but maybe I'll do a little look into that and get some type of video out. What do you think Rose's formation will be? 4-2-3-1, 100%. He plays the 4-1-2-1-2 on occasions. He can, which I do like, he can play a 3-4-1-2, which is having that center attacking midfielder, which is usually Hoffman under Thuram and Playa, for example, maybe Stindl as well. He's very good at 3 different formations, but his preferred is a 4-2-3-1. It fits Dortmund's philosophy. It's been a formation that's been beloved from Dortmund fans for many years. And I think even the targets that Rose may want to bring in, I still think a 4-2-3-1 is the way to go. But he's a versatile manager, and having wingbacks like Guerrero playing the 3-4-1-2 will be fun. And then even playing that 4-1-2-1-2 can be interesting in different games. It's no manager has got a specific formation that they use all the time. They have a favorite formation, but they need to be a good manager needs to adjust and needs to switch into formations that work against different oppositions. Rose has shown he can do that, and I'm excited to see what he brings to this team. How long is the plan? How long till you challenge mate with Rose? It depends, man. I mean, I could see a bounce back season similar to Thomas Tuchel's first season at Dortmund if we get Champions League football. If we don't get Champions League football, I still think that we're probably still in a position for top 4. But if we don't get Champions League football and lose that money, I'm not going to say we're competing for the title. I'm not that optimistic. I'd say that we're comfortable top 4 and hopefully just growing towards the future with a manager that's I'm hoping is going to stick around for many, many seasons. I'm so happy, but I would like to see Terzic back after he gets a few years of experience with another team. I like his tactics. He definitely needs more experience with another team. He's a very young manager. He needs to go somewhere, maybe in the Bundesliga too, for example, take over a club like Nuremberg. That'd be a perfect team to take over. They're struggling in the 2nd division. They're a historic club. They have great fans. It'd be a cool opportunity for him, and then start building his book that way. Welcome Marco Rose to Borussia Dortmund. We are excited. I believe that next season will kind of feel like a fresh breath of air, well said, like a true restart, still a long way to go, new signings, maybe like the 15-16 season after the terrible 14-15. Guy, you just took the words directly out of my mouth. That's exactly what I'm saying. To me, this feels like when Tuchel was appointed after the Klopp era. The Klopp era was unfortunately a bit of a disaster. Well, not era, sorry. The Klopp's last season was a bit of a disaster. He was able to recover a bit and get us Europa League football, and then Tuchel came in and just had a complete game-changing season and brought us up to real title contenders and had a great points return season on that one. And now this season feels a lot like the Peter Bosz season, though, not like the Klopp season. It feels more like the Peter Bosz season, just inconsistent right from the bat, and it'll be fun. It'll honestly be fun to see Rose come in with new personnel, new game plan, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. This is very good news for any Dortmund fan. But again, guys, we still have a lot of work to do. And Gladbach have announced it on Twitter. I'm going to read that tweet for you guys, because I haven't seen Gladbach indicate it at all. But we're going to find them on Twitter here, and I'll read to you what they said, because I'm very curious how they're going to take it. Gladbach. All right. I'm on their English account. I'm not sure. Marco Rose has opted to leave Gladbach at the end of the season and will join Borussia Dortmund. Period. Livid. Absolutely livid. And I don't blame him. That is there's no thanks, Marco Rose. He's not technically leaving right this second. But yeah, that's a bitchy tweet. It's a bitchy tweet from Gladbach. I don't blame him, but it's definitely a bitchy tweet from Gladbach. That's funny. Well, it's what we do. We like taking players from Gladbach, but now we really have to reach top 4 on the table. Yep, can't stress that enough. Oh, it was confirmed again. I'm gonna stay on Twitter. I want to see what Romero says. There he is. One tweet in the last hour. Official was confirmed. Marco Rose will be the Borussia Dortmund manager starting next season. Well, it's not very interesting tweets, but nonetheless, they're legitimate sources. So guys, it's confirmed. It's as confirmed as it can be. We have a new manager. Depay in, Sancho out, right back, goalkeeper, Neuhaus, center back. If you want to ask me, guys, and I've said this a few times, you may find it interesting. I love Memphis Depay. I do, but a team has to be completely built around him while he's playing the false 9 position. He completely changed from a winger to a false 9. He changed the Dutch national team. He changed Lyon. If he comes to Dortmund, it has to be when Haaland leaves. And I don't think that Depay will come to Dortmund because I think his wages will be too high. He's a little bit too big of a character to come in unless we lose Sancho and Haaland. For me, out of that list, we will not be signing a right back either. too much money tied up in Meunier. They're going to stick with Meunier. And I think the board, I know the fans aren't, but the board are relatively happy with Meunier. He'll fit into that 4-2-3-1 formation as well. Goalkeeper, 100%. We need a new goalkeeper. Jakolski, for example, is one that comes to mind for me. Neuhaus, I would take. Not a priority signing for me, but I would take. And then, yes, center back in top 4. Absolute necessary. Maybe Ginter comes back, guys. Maybe Ginter comes back. Just completely stripped down Gladbach. Who would you sell and get for Rose? What a question. Loaded question. Okay. I'll do it quickly because I want to answer a lot of your guys' questions. I would sell Berkey and Hitz, one of the two. The other, whoever stays, would be the backup keeper. And then I would sign Jakolski or some type of Serie A keeper. That's where my eye is sitting right now, to come and be the man between the sticks. I would keep Meunier. He's going to be a right back. His wages are too big to offload. He's going to be a right back, unfortunately. That is what it is. I would potentially flip Akanji, depending what kind of money looks like. I would sign Boubacar Kamara. I would look for some other type of center back somewhere. More experience. I'm talking 23 to 25-year-old center back. Left backs, I'd sell Schultz and then replace it with a decent backup, young backup left back who can be behind Guerrero and can grow. To potentially target Neuhaus only if we get Champions League football. I wouldn't target him because we can't afford him if we don't. We're going to sell Sancho, I think, no matter what. I don't think we can do anything about that. And that's where Malen comes in and potentially Nicolas Gonzalez comes in as a replacement. And then I know Holland's been linked. I hope Holland stays. I think Holland will stay. And I don't even want to touch on that rumor. I touched on the rumor yesterday that the Luka Jovic and 90 million swap deal for Holland, but I think Holland will be here next season. I would have preferred a more defensive manager. I mean, I would have too. I did a little piece on Allegri, but I mean, Allegri doesn't speak German, and the other thing is that Dortmund likes this philosophy. They like attack-minded, fun-flowing football. That's why we see what we see, and Marco Rose is the perfect fit. He really is. But I do take what you say because our defense has been very inconsistent for many seasons, which is why this season will be a complete rebuild. It absolutely will. Last time we conceded less than 30 goals, we won the league. Very true. Very true. We've had that with Fabra. It worked decently, but now allow Sancho to unleash his full potential. Or even Holland. It will be interesting if Gladbach get top 4 and Dortmund don't. I feel, man, the Gladbach... And I feel like it's affecting Gladbach too. Gladbach has had a very inconsistent season. I think it stems from the fact that they know Marco Rose may leave. Their season's been no better than ours, and we're targeting their manager. But we know that he's young, he's got huge potential, and he can maybe take that step to another level. We saw what he did with Gladbach last season. He's doing well in the Champions League, but they've been really inconsistent too. Holland under Rose, my word. I'm hoping. Faber wasn't defensive-minded. He's never conceded less than 40 goals, I believe. He wasn't defensive-minded, but he wasn't very offensive as well. He's a tactician. He sets up specific ways for specific games, and some of those games could be 4-3 scorelines, some could be 1-0. That's always how he's been. He's been a very interesting manager that way. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'd say if anything, he is a little bit more offensive than defensive. But more than anything, he just takes it game by game. It will be sad if you don't get Champions League. Yes, it will. So what happened to Jesse Marsch dream? I think Jesse Marsch is going to be heading to Gladbach, my friend. I think he still wants to desperately come to the Bundesliga, and Gladbach, I think, is more of a realistic step for him anyways. The narrative is that Faber was too defensive, but he never sorted out the back line. I hope Terzic remains an assistant. I have a lot of love for Terzic. I don't know what his future is going to be with Dortmund. Only time will tell there. But his style is playing back until he sees an opening in the defense, and then we'll attack. Well said, Shadow. Well said. I agree. And Sancho has had his best form under Faber as well. Sancho, I think there's nothing we can do about it, guys. I think he will be heading to the Premier League. I can't help but think that Gladbach announced early so Terzic is under more pressure. Oh man, I feel opposite. I feel like they wanted. I didn't look at it that way, but I feel like they wanted to figure out their future. There's been so many rumors, and it's distracting on the team. The Gladbach's an already inconsistent team this season, on top of the fact that their future can be completely changed by their manager going to their rivals. I feel like they wanted an answer. They said, listen, if you want to go, let us know. Now we can start strategizing without you. And then Rose said, listen, I'm going to do whatever I can to finish up the season here, do the best for us, but yes, I'm going to leave at the end of the season. And then Gladbach announced it. They didn't look very happy. I don't think it was a mind game, in my opinion. They seemed pretty peed off in the tweets, at least I'm reading, but anyways. It is if we're going to trash the Bundesliga. I think Sancho can do better under Rose. He could, but guys, he's gonna go. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's a piece to balance the books and bring some cash into this team. Looking like a good title race next season. Just don't disappoint like you usually do. It'll depend on if we get a top 4 finish this year. Fabra had a lot of possession under Fabra. Purely a counter-attacking style. And that's why the 3-4-3 was such a beautiful formation under Fabra when it worked with Hakimi and Guerrero. I think we were far away from a title challenge. Because Bayern's just a little bit too high right now to really catch, but either way, we'll see what happens. Next season will be, at least, like you said, a breath of fresh air. New, hopefully, personnel, new team, new tactics. It should be fun. He should go to Schalke and get them relegated. No, I don't. He'll never take over Schalke. Come on. Bidikor is surprised. Rosa, Marco Royce, Marco Rosa. How do you guys pronounce it? I'm English, so I've been pronouncing it Marco Rose. I know that when I hear him mentioned a lot, it's Marco Rosa. If you guys prefer me to pronounce it one or the other, let me know. We have a lot of people from Europe, a lot of people from North America, so I will try to pronounce it as you guys wish. I pronounced it one of 2 ways, but, food for thought. I think you need to hold on to your star players, clear the dead wood, and let Rose build a squad he wants to. Well said, Ian. Unfortunately, one star is definitely destined to leave, and that is Sancho. He's a piece that we need to balance the books, as well as bring in some money to really address the positions that Marco Rose wants to go to. But I do really believe that we will hold on to Haaland. Let's go. Hi, Josh. Hopefully we get to the top again. I agree, man. I agree. We need to, and a new keeper right there as well. We definitely need a top 4 finish this season. Terzic still's got a lot of work to do here. But yeah, in my opinion, Neuhaus will be unrealistic if we don't get top 4. I'd say try to sign Emilio Martinez as our main keeper. He's smashing it at Aston Villa. That is true. I don't think he'd be a target, though, just because I think he'd be too hard to praise away. It's always hard going to Premier League players and getting them for a decent price, just because, their tax even makes them more valuable. I prefer going to the Serie A, Drakovsky, whoever. There's a couple keepers there who I think would be promising to bring in. There are a couple promising young Russian keepers who we could bring in as a number 2. I'm not familiar. You're welcome to drop in some of the names, and I can take a look at some of them. But yeah, in my opinion, we're gonna be taking a real wholesale changes. New keeper all the way. Berkey, it wouldn't surprise me if he leaves the club. Hitz could potentially remain as the backup. We sign a new keeper. Happy days. Right back, like I said, is gonna stay as is. And I need to start thinking some more center backs. The only name I keep coming up with is Boubacar Kamara, but there's so many legitimate reasons to target him. Like, he's such a talented young player. He's versatile. He can play in a back 3. He can play in a back 4, which Rose would like. He can even go into midfield. He's young and French, which, Dortmund do enjoy bringing those players. And the biggest thing is that he's cheap, because Marseille is going through a nightmare of a time, and we could get him for a good deal, and I just think it would be a perfect fit. But either way, which goalkeepers would we buy? I think it's coming from the Serie A. So take your pick. I think Drakovsky's a good one to keep an eye on. Lazio's keeper is a good one as well. Even Torino, if they get relegated, they have Sirigu there. I would prefer someone a little younger than Sirigu, but we will have to see. It's a shame about Onuna's ban. He would have been a great option. He would have. He absolutely would have. Selling Sancho and bringing in Depay as a free agent would be great business. On paper it would, but guys, the thing about Depay, like I've said, I've done a couple pieces now on him. Huge fan of Memphis Depay. Too big of a character, though, to not completely switch your team around. If Depay comes in, Haaland can't be there. The team would line up more than likely in a 4-3-3 with Depay playing as a false 9. That means no Haaland, and that means huge wages for Depay. I wouldn't be against it, because I think Depay is a class player, but Dortmund's not, I don't think, very keen to let Haaland go, which means that Depay won't come for that reason, on top of the fact that Depay's wages as a free agent will be sky high. In my opinion, Depay will not come here. But, everyone, you hear free piece of business, but it means higher wages. Look at Thomas Meunier. That's why I keep telling you guys, we're not going to get a new right back next season. We have too much wages tied up in Meunier. We're never going to be able to flip him. He will be our right back for the foreseeable future. Thorgan is back from injury, so our right side is not bad. I'm hoping we have a change of shape into a 3-4-2-1 with Hazard's right wing back and Guerrero left wing back. I think that would be fun. If we don't finish top 4, all of our progress in the last 5 years would be lost back to 2010 condition. It's interesting to say, but if you guys do remember when Klopp finished the season at Dortmund, he finished in 7th place. That's Europa League football. We still kept our big shooters, and we still attracted young players, and Tuchel turned us into a team that was very, very close. I think it was the highest ever second place finish. So, I mean, even if we do get Europa League football, it sucks because it's on paper it's going to look like, damn, our team looks weaker. But there's always an option that someone blossoms. Someone who's given a chance who maybe didn't get that chance could always blossom. Signing a younger player, for example, instead of signing Depay, you sign Malen, and Malen breaks out. Instead of signing Neuhaus, you sign Locatelli, and Locatelli breaks out. There's always an option that a team just as big as Dortmund is can bounce back. But to do it the best and most proper way, I agree we need top 4. It will hurt our progress, no doubt about it. I would love Diego Carlos from Sevilla. I would love Koundé from Sevilla. They'll be expensive, guys. I think he's a fantastic right back, 100%. He's got like 11 goals this year in the Scottish Premier League. He's a fast, talented Englishman. I personally wouldn't want him. I wouldn't want him at Dortmund because, I think that, no offense to the Scottish League, because I do think he could do a job. I don't think that's the right target. 2, like I said, we're not going to address the right back position, even though I do very much rate him. I think he's got the potential to go to a Premier League club and shine. I just don't think he fits the personnel, mainly because he's almost 30. Hinteregger or Ndaka from Frankfurt are solid players. They are big, strong, solid center backs. I'd be fine with either one. I don't know exactly what center backs, guys. It's going to be fun to know exactly what center back Rose is going to go for. Where's Reyna going, Josh? Tactical manager. He's going nowhere. Come on. Reyna is staying at Dortmund for the foreseeable future, 100%. He signed a long-term deal. He's not an asset Dortmund are looking to get off for a couple of reasons. One, he's American. And I'm not want to sugarcoat it. The Bundesliga is blossoming in the U.S. The U.S. market is a target that everybody wants. It's why Weston McKennie, in my opinion, went to Juventus. And stroke of genius because he's doing amazing and he's bringing in such a huge audience from the States. Reyna is the future of U.S. men's national team, and he is right now exactly where he needs to be. I don't think he needs to make a move. I think he's going to start getting more and more game time under Dortmund, and he signed that long-term deal. Plus, I think he loves being here. So I can't see Dortmund ever wanting to flip him. I think Sancho's the make-weight deal to bring some money into the club. And then, of course, those Erling Haaland rumors are always there because of that release clause. This is confirmed, right? 100% confirmed, my guy. Lafont from Nantes, yes, he's a good one. He was at Fiorentina for a little bit. I can't remember who his first French club was. I think it was, can't remember. He was in the Liga. He went over to Serie A, didn't fit, came back to Nantes, and he is a solid keeper. Plus, Nantes are in relegation zone right now. So, I mean, we could get him for dirt cheap. Don't comment. Tchaikovsky, Neuhaus, Koundé would be great for you. 100% agree, guys, but it's going to, again, our finances will depend, man. There's going to be a lot of movement, man. This channel's going to be buzzing in the summertime because there's going to be so many daily rumors linking in and out. I'm assuming these are the Russian keepers you're talking about. I have not heard, honestly, of either one. Maybe Popov I've heard of. I can't remember. I'd have to look into them. As you said, after Klopp's last season, we did well under Tuchel, but it was different. There was no COVID. COVID plus no Champions League will F our finance. You're very true. It's very true. When you have fans like Dortmund's bringing in that much money into the stadium, that kills you on top of missing out $75 million on... It's a double whammy. I totally agree. I'm not saying it's impossible not to have a good season, even if we get Europa League football, but it would make it so much more challenging, and you'd have to hope that some young players would blossom. Memphis is here. What do you think about John Maya's contract expiring in 2021? He could be a great striker. I don't know. I don't know if I have an opinion on him. Potentially. I mean, if you get him for free and he's a young kid not asking for huge wages, it might not be a bad look. But I still think Dortmund's going to be focused a little bit on Mukuku really being that backup striker. And that's why I think signing Donny Malen would be perfect because he can play it on the wings. And then when we really need him in a tough game where Haaland maybe isn't playing, Malen can play striker. Also, under Rose in the 4-1-2-1-2, Haaland and Malen can play as a duo up front, so it should be interesting. Got a car center back from Marseille. I would take him as well, man. Either one of the center backs from Marseille, I would love to target him. He's a very talented young center back. Get him on the cheap because Marseille situation. Yeah, him or Boubacar Kamara I've been talking about for a long time make total sense and would be very, very cheap. Read on Reddit that Liner might follow Rose to Dortmund. Wow. Well, Agents, I don't know if he's still here, but Agents was wanted me to sign him on our career mode. Very, very adamant about it, but I wouldn't be against that as well. He can play CDM. He can play also as a right back, right wing back. Now, I don't want Szczesny. I think Szczesny's a solid keeper. I think he's too old. He's also known to be a heavy smoker. I'm just saying that. I know it sounds funny, but he smokes cigarettes. He does. So that means that probably will decline a little bit faster. Plus, he's 30. I wouldn't want him for... I want a long-term goal. Glashy said he was not coming. Jakolski, to me, seems perfect. There's a couple other keepers that maybe we'll do an episode on. Reyna is the face of UN's men's national team. His game is already more mature than Pulisic's. I agree with that. You flopped. Rose gives us a better chance to sign Neuhaus if we make Champions League. Yes, he does. 100% agree with that. If we get Champions League football, Neuhaus has got a legitimate opportunity to come under Rose and be our main man. I think it would just be a slap in every Gladbach fan's face just to keep taking their players, but I do think that's legit. But I honestly think if we don't get Champions League football, Neuhaus is not an option. Not a chance. Not a single chance we're going to be able to sign Neuhaus. He's a luxury signing if we're able to pull it off for a decent deal. But if you're Gladbach and we just stole Rose, like how keen are you to sell us Neuhaus? So, I don't know, guys. We'll see. But to end the episode off, I am going to give you just a quick list of things to ponder. New goalkeeper. One of them's got to leave. Probably Berkey. Hits as the backup. And then Jakolski is my guy to take over. We need that Polish blood in here, guys. We do. Piszczek's retiring. Right back, like I said, not going to be addressed. Center back, yes. Take one of the two center backs from Marseille. Take them both for all I care. It makes total sense bringing them in. Potentially flip Akanji, see what can happen there, bring some money in for Rose. Flip Schultz, sign a young left back, be the backup to Guerrero. That back line looks much healthier, especially with the two young Marseille center backs. One hopefully will come in. Center of the park, we are comfortable with CDMs. Dahoud will more than likely leave. Potentially Neuhaus or Locatelli, depending on how we finish. And then, yeah, the top four. Sancho's almost guaranteed to leave. Nicolas Gonzalez from Stuttgart and Mullen could potentially come in as well. And that is what I see. That is what I see as a bit of decent strategy transfer targets for Dortmund to do. Really address it. For me, keeper, center back are the most important. And then, yeah, bring in Mullen. Mullen, it even said PSV is struggling. So, like, the Mullen deal is looking so tasty right now because PSV need to sell their silverware. Mullen is on fire this season. He is, in my opinion, the number one player. We could, honestly, if we lose Sancho, just sign Mullen, and I'd be happy because we still have Holland, we still have Mkuku, we have Brandt, Royce, Reyna, Hazard. Now we got Mullen who can play as a striker out on the wings. I'm happy. CDM doesn't immediately need to be addressed, but maybe Locatelli or Neuhaus, depending on the situation. It's the back, man. We need one, if not two, solid center backs. And I'm looking right at Marseille because, like you said, their financial situation. Give us one of them. Sell us both of them. I don't care. And then absolutely a keeper. A young keeper. A talented keeper. A keeper who will be here for a while. But yes, those were my... And then the selling will either be Sancho, for sure, in my opinion. Dahoud, for sure, in my opinion. Potentially Akanji if they want to make a little bit of money and go for a different type of center back. But Akanji could easily stay. Schultz has a good opportunity of leaving. And then there is always that rumor of Holland, but I seriously doubt it. This is a good appointment for BBB. Let's see what they finish this season. I agree. I think we should not sign Neuhaus. It's way too expensive. And we won't if we don't get Champions League for sure. Martinez from Villa. And I'm not against Martinez. I just don't think it's going to be easy to do. If Jonathan David came to Dortmund, man, he's the only other very well-known, talented Canadian. Maybe not unbelievably well-known, but there's two, if you're on FIFA, guys, there's two players from Canada. And it's Davies and it's David. Man, if Jonathan David came, it'd be so cool. I'd be pumped. I'd get a Davies jersey in a heartbeat. But Ian, I love it. I'm Canadian if you didn't know. Pedro Neto, again, I don't see it just because he's a little too young for my liking, and I'm not overly convinced of what he can do. He reminds me kind of like a Tanguy Koulibaly. Not a lot of finished. He's not a finished product yet. Good player. Renato Sanchez, I would take in a heartbeat, and then yeah, take your pick from the Marseille center backs. I wouldn't go for Szczesny, too expensive. Plus, like I said, he's a smoker guy. He's going to decline faster. He's already 30. I want a young keeper who can potentially be the future. Nance's keeper, Anthony Lafont, would be a very good one as well. Just to search Boubacar Kamara from Marseille, and his contract will be out in 2022, so maybe we can get him for a good price. And we will. We 100% will get him for a good price because of that situation. And Marseille is in a shit show of a financial mess. Like, for me, I've been mentioning him all year long. Julian says Rose fits your mold. 100% he does. Do you think Dortmund will change formations to a 5-4-1 in order to improve their defense? If you're talking about for Rose, no. If you're talking about our upcoming games, I hope. Upcoming games, I want to see a 3-4-2-1 hits. Right wing back will be Hazard if he's healthy, if not Marai. And then Chan, Hummels, because Hummels will be safer in that center back role. Central center back role, Akanji, Guerrero on his comfortable left wing back. Our duo of, I want to see Dahoud break in, man. Dahoud, Delaney, and then now you have your central. You can have Royce, you can have Brandt, you can have Reina, or Sancho. Any of those four as you're under the striker. And then, of course, Holland up front. Next season, Rose will not play with the back five. Rose will play in a 4-2-3-1. I think Socrates was to take for free once on one season. Maybe. However, Gladbach leaks goals. Do you think he can fix your shambolic back line? I think new personnel is the best opportunity to address that back line. And I think there's going to be a whole amount of sales. I would take Donnarumma in a heartbeat. But again, huge wages, and I don't think he's going to come to Dortmund. I think he's looking at potentially PSG, Juventus, or even re-signing with Milan. But alright guys, that is it. We're going to get off here. I haven't ate breakfast because I just woke up and wanted to go live with you. We will be going live today for some Ultimate Team. So for you guys who enjoy Ultimate Team, we as you guys know, we are the official international caster for Borussia Dortmund's Twitch. We are trying to be very much more active on our Twitch. So we are working with them and we came up with a series for you guys that I really hope that you guys enjoy. So I really hope you guys do like it, but it's a FIFA Ultimate Team based journey. We're going to be starting completely from scratch, and it's going to be called Rainier Glory. You guys know the objective card that's out right now. So we're going to be building a team, and the only real rule to that is I can't spend money, and Rainier has to be in our squad. So we're excited to work with Dortmund on this little series, and we hope it just brings a little bit added dimension to the channel. And because we're working directly with their Twitch, it just makes total sense. We will still be doing our career modes and whatnot, but it should be pretty cool to see. So if you guys want to stick around, we'll be going live today on YouTube as well as Twitch and try to help build our Twitch account. So it will be pretty cool. So until next time, guys, I hope you guys are excited as I am. And if you guys want to come join in with me, I'll be live for quite some time today. Girlfriend's got to study, So we'll be going live, playing some FIFA Ultimate Team, new series, and we can just really talk about our new manager. And yes, I will 100% take back Dinter. I would take back Dinter in a heartbeat. So yeah, here's your last one. All right, guys, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe.